Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harbor Community Meeting. Today is March the 9th, and that's official CNCF meeting. So please follow the code of conduct for CNCF. With that, I've pasted in the chat the link to the Harbor Community Meetings notes. So if you have anything to add to it, like the topics that you want to discuss today, feel free to do that. My name is Ruben Vasiliev, as it's written on my video stream. With that, I'm going to share the meeting notes from today. Give me a sec. There we go. I hope everyone can see that. We have a few topics for today added already. So the first one is from Tendo. Are you on the call?
There may be some mistake. It's not Chengdu, I think.
Okay, I'm not sure who added this one.
Who added this agenda?
Okay, sorry. Let me revise it. Sorry for the typo.
Oh, it's not me. It's
Yvonne.
Okay. I think everyone can edit that, so please do so.
Yes, okay. So I show my screen.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing then if you're gonna share your screen.
Okay.
Here you go. You can share now.
Okay, I set and authenticate. Okay. Okay, hello, I'm Yvonne from Tencent, and I'm glad to representation I will propose here. And we propose to adapt multiple type of database for Harbor. And the first step is to support MyCircle and MariaDB. And there is an abstract DAO layer in Harbor, and different databases can have their drivers to implement the interface. And we want to add a MyCircle driver. And let's see the background. As previous discussions shown, there are certain amount of users, especially in China, like the experience of maintaining PG for high availability, disaster recovery. And meanwhile, they're more familiar with other databases such as MyCircle and MariaDB. And they prefer to use MariaDB and MyCircle instead of PG to keep production environments stable. And as we all know that Harbor used MyCircle before, but Scanner Clear used PG as database. So in order to keep consistency with Clear and reduce maintenance difficulties, Harbor unified database using PG. And since Harbor version 2 use Trivi as default scanner instead of Clear, so there is no strongly requirement to use PG anymore. Therefore, it's possible to adapt different kind of database now. And our goals are as follows. First, keep using PG as default database, and our implementation will be compatible with current version of Harbor. And abstract DAO layer for different type of databases. Here we mainly adding the implementation of MyCircle. And next, support MariaDB and MyCircle by implementing corresponding drivers and resolving circle compatibility. And our verifying version is MariaDB 10.5.9 and MyCircle 8.0. At last, provide migration tool or guide for users to migrate data from PG to MariaDB and MyCircle. So it's our goals. And our goals do not include the following. First, support other type of database such as Mongo and Oracle. And this time we mainly focus on MyCircle and MariaDB. Also, if others interesting, it's good to support other data in the future. And second, implement MariaDB and MyCircle operator for internal database case. At present, we expected to support external database usage, and if internal database usage is supported, depending on the future requirements, if need. And the implementation of our goals. And to support multiple database, we used the DAO layer here. And originally, only PG was supported. And now we want to add the MyCircle driver to support MyCircle and MariaDB. And we provide a migration tool to migrate data from PG to MyCircle. And there are 4 components interact with the database. So the main modifications focus on these 4: core, exporter, and notary and job service. And initialize the component core and exporter and notary that get db config from config file, and job service get config from hybrid core. And after getting the database config, they do the certain initial operation. If Postgres, the init database and connect with PG and migrate databases with Postgres circle file. And also if it's MyCircle or MariaDB, the init database with it and connect with MyCircle or MariaDB and migrate database with MyCircle circle file. And I'll show the migrations directory architecture later. Then the init success, and when their work, they need to provide service, need to interact with the database. And job service core exporter will use the certain driver type to access the database. As for notary itself, originally support MyCircle usage. We only need to modify the configs to provide the right database config. So let's see some details. At first, add the MyCircle config settings to metadata list, include DB type and some MyCircle configs. And add DB tab to config Python files. It will be used when applying DB configs to components. And this is the struct of MyCircle, including some DB configs. Then when init database get the certain DB configs, if PG using new PG circle, and if MariaDB or MyCircle using new circle to new the database. And as default, if you don't set the type, you will use the PG by default. And migrate DB with certain circle file. PG circle file under Postgres and my circle file under DB under my circle. And here's the directory architecture of migrations. File names are the same under my circle and Postgres, but file content may be different because of different grammars. Some grammars are different. And DAO layer make different databases compatible. And we can extend database support by implementing my circle driver. And this is an example of DAO layer DAO interface. We can implement it and my circle driver to implement these functions. And here, Harbor core. Course config applies a certain circle file according to the DB type. If you're using my circle or MariaDB, we will set these infos to my circle variables. And by default, we also use PG. And exporter is the same with core. Because exporters config variables didn't contain the PG keywords, so it can be reused directly. Only add an DB tab to show the type of database. And if it's PG, these infos are all PG database infos. And if type is my circle, and these are the my circle infos, host and port. And next, job service. Job service gets config from core, and then init database with DB config obtained. Also, add MariaDB and my circle support. And there's database infos it get. And next, migration. As described above, we'll provide a migration to migrate data from PG to my circle and MariaDB. Firstly, there's an official migration tool from my circle community. We haven't tested in depth yet and still need further test. And secondly, we could write a script to migrate data. First, define data models for PG and MariaDB or my circle, and read the data from PG and map to data model. Then transfer PG data model to MariaDB or my circle data model, and write data to MariaDB or my circle database. So, and our compatibility testing. We have done some tests for circle compatibility, and here we list some circle incompatible points. First, PG use trigger to update the files of update time. And instead of trigger, my circle use default and on update. Use this way, it's okay. And this is the 1 point. And next, serial type in my circle is big int on signed. And this type is not supported to be a foreign key. So if a column references other column with type 0, it needs to be defined as big int unsigned. And next, alter table column type in my circle must use modify, which use alter in PG, so it's a small point. And loop keyword is different between my circle and Postgres. The grammar is quite different, so it's a big difference. It modified a lot. And the last, create index not support if not exist usage. And in my circle, maybe delete these keywords. And now our 22 circle file are compatible with my circle, and later we will demo it with my circle version 8. And also MariaDB. MariaDB, there's no some different with my circle, but at last they will be the same with use the same circle file and the same code logic with my circle. So it is have some more works to do. And at last, all these tasks finished, we can use with my circle or MariaDB in this way. And config DB infos under external database and add the database type. If my circle and there's some DB infos. And notary, we haven't finished yet. So this demo, we didn't demo notary, but the basic component, we can have a demo. So now let's see the demo. Let's see the Harper YAML and metrics, we set it, and to use the exporter and external database. So external database, we use my circle and set the infos below. I start my circle in advance, so we can use it directly. Then we test to install it. Okay, the component all up, and we can look at the log. Okay, we registered database with my circle, and the info is I filled in the Harbor YAML. And also the job service. Yes, it's my circle. And export. Also my circle and host. So then we can see the portal. Portal is so we can create a new project. Public. Okay. Test. And push an image. Test. Oh, I forgot. I Docker login before, so I didn't Docker login. So let's see. Regulatory MariaDB. And copy. DB. Copy artifact. So copied. And the basic functions. Looks okay. Delete. Project. Delete. And the demo will only modify the necessary code and to verify that my circle is available, and we'll refine the code later. And this proposal still have many works to do. So if you are interested in this proposal, welcome to join our work groups. Okay, I finished my presentation. Thanks. So is there any problems?
Hi, I may have several a question about your proposal. Thanks for the presentation. I didn't see a very clear part in this proposal to support notary. All of things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have to add this part to this proposal to support. How do we support notary to support other kind of database? Okay.
Yeah.
The other one
Yes.
is the yes. So as you list here, there are several other CQ are not passed in this table, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
since we use the several specific feature that built in with Postgres, like just for example, JSON operation. So how do we how can we handle this part in this proposal? I haven't seen that.
Okay. First, notary. Yeah, I saw the notary configs because we this time mainly focused on MySQL and MariaDB. I saw that notary itself support the MySQL ways to start up notary. And
Yes.
I think we need to do is to add the MySQL configs to notary. And this time is
to support notary, it may have introduced some makefile works, and you have to add some MySQL configuration for a notary container so that they can connect to the MySQL server. So we have we have to add this part. And for the compatibility test, since we use some specific feature for in the CQ files, so how do we handle this part? We should add this in your proposal. This is my second comment. The next one is the for the migration tool. Since this proposal is targeted to support multiple kind of database, but in this proposal, you just mentioned how can we migrate data from Postgres to MySQL. But in my opinion, we have to provide a framework to help user to add some new implementation to support other kind of migration. Like if I implement another kind of driver to support like MongoDB, how can we how can I migrate my data from Postgres to MongoDB, and how can I implement a new adapter such as our plugin in your migration tool? So for the migration tool part, it should be a framework, I think. Not just a simply
MariaDB. This time we mainly focused on this type of DB, and if future we need to add other databases, maybe it should be a certain we should provide another migrate to provide data translate. We may need to migrate data from PG to Mongo and use another migration tool, I think.
Yeah, we should.
And Travis,
Okay, go ahead.
I understand what you said. You mean we need to write this migration tool abstractly. We need
Yes.
to support other database in the future. We will add this part in the proposal.
Okay. I know. We are only focused on MariaDB, and we should focus on more databases, right?
We should have more details on the migration part. How can I use it, and when should I use it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And that
folks,
Jason. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
just related to the migration part. So I also had a thought that we should be a little, like since we use a database driver abstraction, which is GoBigo, I think it's a Bigo framework that is used. We need to be aware, like we need to benchmark what will be, is the behavior of Bigo, like whatever APIs we use of Bigo, are they like, you know, it may not be cent to cent similar, but there should be some level of similarity, because it should not happen that Bigo implementation creates a performance problem when you start migrating the data from Postgre to MySQL, because we do not know if the implementation has used something specific to Postgre to speed up some executions, and we are just using that feature without knowing it. So in my opinion, in addition to the migration abstraction, as Jan mentioned, which is really important, we also should make sure that the SDK that we are using to interact with the database right now is going to perform comparably across both the databases, and it does not induce some like, you know, lags or performance penalties which are hard to track. So I think that's important, I guess, since we are moving across databases, and it's not like a general driver like Bigo will definitely use some hints to optimize some types of executions or other. So we need to check that out too, I guess.
You mean we use Bigo ORM have some performance issue, right?
Yes, that's right. Like it may be speed, like the same functionality will be speedy, will be executing very well on Postgre, but the moment you migrate to MySQL or MariaDB, possibly, like, you know, you may see a performance hit, and it could simply be because the underlying Bigo implementation is doing something wrong. And I call this out because I've done some database migration projects. I've seen this happen in the Java world. I'm not sure if it happens in the Go world, but yeah, we need to be careful over there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I understand.
Okay. Then last question, Jason. Okay. You see.
Oh, sorry, I may have some further questions about regarding to the DAO interface. Do we have to implement all the DAO interfaces in Harbor? I mean, for each manager, like repository type, label, and etc.
And most Java interface are compatible with PG and MySQL. Only little circle statements are not support between PG and MySQL. But in my opinion, it should be architecture that we should give a certain database the implementation, but we can take a reference to the default interface. So we can reuse the function, reuse the implementation, but we should have a driver to reference to the default function. Maybe
oh.
the implementation of them are the same, but they have the
Hi,
drive.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I think it's better for your tools to discuss offline. You can use Chinese. I think it's much easier for the speakers. Yeah, but about implementation details, I think it's a better choice.
Yes, feel free to schedule meeting, but I like to discuss some detail in this meeting so that all the users from the community can understand the proposal details and what's going on in the Go Harbor community. So okay, we can I can just add some comments in this proposal, and we can have discuss on that so that other can see the communication based on our conversations. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. So my last question is that we should provide some guidance for the developer from community to tell them how can they implement a new database driver. What should I do? What should I follow? And so that the others can follow this guide to implement their own database driver and contribute back to Harbor. Like I want to implement one MongoDB driver and just follow your guide, and then submit my PR and back to contribute to Harbor. So we should provide the guidance in your proposal.
Yes, I agree about this. I want to discuss some common things about this proposal. For databases, shall we extend the scope too wide? We need to support different kinds of databases that others want. I think if we support too many databases, it will be a big burden for Harbor to maintain. One of the things is your previous mentioned the migration tool. I think it will be difficult for Harbor to maintain too many databases tools and the logics. Maybe we can just focus on 2 or 3 database kind. I think it's most.
I think from a perspective of Harbor, we just only maintain Postgres. But if someone from community, they want to maintain MySQL, MongoDB, MariaDB, it's good for us. So by default, Harbor supports Postgres, and all the maintainers will provide support, help on that. But for the other kind of database, we should leverage the effort from community to support that. For just like what we did for the replication, like the Tencent adapter, I think you guys could provide some help on that adapter to support Harbor replication from Harbor to Tencent network, right? Yeah, that's my answer for your question.
From us, we only want to focus the MariaDB and MySQL for the moment, and
yes, I agree that
we agree that we should provide a framework to help others to implement their own in drivers for their preferred databases. But it's difficult to as suggested by Steven, maybe we will make a database work group, but I think it's if we didn't control the scope, it will be very difficult for the work groups to work if we cover too many kind of databases, and we didn't have that effort to do the work.
We won't. I think you can just provide effort to support MySQL and MariaDB. Yeah. For other kind of database, I think if someone from community have interest on that, they can just contribute that part.
Okay, I got it. And I have another things to say about this proposal is maybe if we choose to provide one kind of databases, but it may not work for all of the Harbor component. For example, the Notary. If one customer want to use Harbor with Cassandra, for example, but Notary doesn't support Cassandra, I think it also can be a choice. Just if we make our choice to use Cassandra, we must give up the Notary use component just to use the basic Harbor functions. Do you think it's reasonable?
So my opinion is not. We have to provide all the functionality for a new kind of database, but the Notary is a special case. Since we have some discussion on Notary deprecation, but anyway, my suggestion is that we should provide full functionality on new kind of database.
So if we want to provide full functions of Harbor, then if we want to support one database, we need to adapt the Harbor or clear such kind of third part component, right?
Yes, but there are not so many third-party components that need to be accessed database. Just the Notary so far. And there were not some additional third-party that to be introduced into Harbor to have access to database.
Okay, I see. Do you know how many databases Notary support for the moment?
Maria Postgres, I don't know others, sorry.
Okay, so considering for this, I think for the moment we can only support the previous mentioned databases for now.
Yes, but if we deprecate the Notary, I mean without Notary integration, we can introduce some other kind of database, I think.
Yes, that's my second question to you. Is it eligible to support only the basic function of Harbor without the Notary? If we want to provide the full functionality of the Harbor, maybe the choice of database is very limited.
My personal opinion is that we have to provide full functionality to support new kind of database, but I'm not sure others' opinion on that.
Yeah, maybe it's a choice.
So you can just put this item into your proposal, and then anyone who reviews the proposal can give an answer on that. Is that okay for you?
Yes, I think it's a good choice. We will make it the statement in the proposal first.
Great. I'm sorry. We have to run fast. We have less than 15 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't want to cut you off, but I don't want to cross the hour. So we agreed that I can see the PR for the proposal in, So you're gonna put your comments in. I can see already Tianon commented, Stephen Wren commented. So there's ongoing discussion about that happening in the PR for that proposal. So please do that. Thank you a lot for your demo and the presentation. Very useful. So with that, I think we can continue with a few more topics on the agenda. I'm sorry again to cut you off, but we don't have to cross the hour. So I have two topics, kind of ish three. Our maintainer track was accepted for the KubeCon EU 2022. Please, I think Jan-Wan, you've submitted it. Please start preparing. If you need my help, just drop a line, and I can help out with the preparation for the session. Second topic is, are we going to release in 2 days?
Oh, Olin, that's not true. And the original plan is we target to release around March 11, right?
Yeah.
I remember in last community meeting, AB have checked me to check the date. At that time, I updated in the Slack channel. It is target to maybe March 21. Yeah, that's a Monday, right? But currently we have some new, new sense. It is, I have seen you listed in the topic 5, right? There is notice related CVE issue, which is currently block our release. So we should have some, information from Notaris side when they can release a patch to fix that CVE, so we can consume the upstream patch in our harbor side. So that will also impact our 2.5 release, I think. So.
Okay, so I can put the release date again, tentative on.
Yeah, it is still tentative, I think.
Yeah.
If there is no Notaris CVE issue, I think we can say maybe the target date is around March 21. But due to the CVE, it is still tentative.
Okay. Okay, cool. About that, I'm trying to find a way through the CNCF governance with the notary folks, if they can patch that.
Yeah, thank you.
Not sure how much it will take at the time, but yeah, okay. Avi, you have a topic for the SIG docs?
Yes, hello. I just wanted to plug our next meeting, the SIG Docs group, which will be next Wednesday, which I think is the 16th. I might have the wrong date, but so it'll be next Wednesday, and it should be at the same time as this meeting. We are having daylight savings time change this weekend in the US, so I might have put out the wrong time. So I'll double check the date and the time, but it will be next Wednesday. So if folks are interested in joining and helping us with the docs or learning more about our docs for the Harbor Project, we'll be having a meeting, and I hope to see you all there.
Right. Do you need any help from my side to like do the, I don't know, announcement in channel or tweet or something that we're gonna meet, and that will be the first official SIG docs meeting?
Yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about where to post other messages in the channel and such.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, AB.
And one again, to refer back to the CVs, Jan-Wan, those came out from the app check things that we run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, how should I put this one? If notary are not like cooperative enough in terms of time, what are our options? Do we have any other options? I mean, to like at least close our eyes to this one and release like this. I don't like this one, but
Yeah, actually, I have a same question. Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have Roger on the call. Maybe he can put more into this one. But I mean, a part of the procedural, like closing our eyes, do we have some technical solutions for this one? I think we discussed once to fork Notary and fix it on our own, which is, I think we should go for this one as the last possible solution.
Yes, that's right. So if we cannot get any response from Notary community, the worst case is that we fork their repository and ship Notary in the fork repository.
Yeah, and did you already submitted a PR to the Notary with the fix, or we're just waiting for them to fix it on their own?
They already have someone raise PR to fix that, but they have to merge them and then raise another PR based on that, so to fix the another CVE. I have already mailed them. I mean, the Notary community or a maintainer, they have no idea about the ETA. They just said to me that they will provide patch, but no guarantee on when they can do that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out how I can chase them properly. So I can see we don't have an open PR for this one, at least from our side. It's like, yeah.
Yes. The third one is from outside to fix the program. Yes, that one is from is Shengwen's PR to fix the program dependency. And another one, let's see.
Which one is the other one?
Can you switch back to the PR list?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
there.
the sixth one.
This one? Or no, this one?
No, yeah, this one. And go. They have to merge this PR firstly, and then I can raise another PR to.
Oh, okay.
The draft first. They actually have already approved this PR, but no one take further action. I just very.
I'm gonna talk with Justin. I know him, and I'm gonna ask him if he can provide some info on this one.
Okay, thank you. So when shall we make decision for Notary part? Do we have a end of day for this?
You mean to take the decision what we should do next?
Yeah, whether we should fork or just wait for their response, and eventually we should have a decision on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, when should we have that decision?
Okay, that depends how much time we need after we take that decision. If we're gonna meet the 21st of March release date.
But regarding to 2.4.2, I heard several customers are waiting for that release, but that one is also blocked by this CVE.
Mm-hmm.
So we have already delayed that patch release for several weeks.
Yeah. Have you addressed that to Alex Chu or Roger?
I think we need Roger's comment on that.
Yeah. I can help out with this one, but I cannot take that decision. It's not in my field at all. but those are relatively new CVs, right? Both of this.
Yes, just
Okay,
this.
that's not exactly new. But okay. But yeah, but taking into account that Notary hasn't been released, there's no new release for Notary for almost a year or maybe 2.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, almost, yeah, 3 years. Okay. I'll try to get in touch with Justin and see how it goes. And yeah, because as I mentioned somewhere, we're not the only project that relies on Notary heavily. So
Yes.
they have to fix that anyway. And yeah. The thing is that Notary is a CNCF project.
Yes.
And they have some responsibility based on this one. So they have to do something. Can I ask you if you can open an issue specific for our use case? Because I'm not sure if I can word it properly. So I can point them to the right information.
In terms of the CVE, we usually do not file issues on GitHub. That is the security. We just follow their security pipeline. Just send mail to their security work group and to notify there is CVE in their project, and you have to provide fix on that. And this is the usually process for us reporting a security issue.
I'm not sure if I get it. Can you repeat the last one, please? I mean,
yeah, only what I mean is to report a security issue. Normally, will not file an issue in GitHub. It will follow their process to send the email to their security group to mention that. I think Yan already have sent the email to their security group and get a response from them. So we'll patch this, but there is no EKA for that.
Yeah, but that's like, it's a known CVE, right? So it's out there. So whoever wants to scan Notary can get that information, right? It's not like non-disclosure.
Okay. You mean that is a normal CVE already public in the community, right?
Yeah. And my idea was to open an issue in their repository, so I can point them to, yeah, folks, we found this, that right now your release, which is 3 years old, it's affected by these CVEs. Can you estimate if you're gonna fix it and when you're gonna fix it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have pasted these 2 CVEs in the chat. Maybe you just only need to use those information and file issue to them. Maybe that is enough, I think. But I'm not sure.
Okay, can you, Yaman, can you loop me into that mail that you sent so I can follow up on my own with Justin?
Sure.
Okay.
I also passed the security process in there. You can open that URL to see some details.
Yeah, but I know that process, but the thing is that I think that those are like publicly available CVEs already, and everyone who can scan their artifact can see that those are a valid CVEs for the current release. So I think a simple issue, hey, can you fix that? Or when you plan to fix that, it will be good enough for now. But okay, I think you've wrote that to the security team. If you can forward that mail to me, and I'll try to get in touch with Justin.
Will do.
Okay, great. Okay, with that, I think we're ready with the agenda. Anyone else or part of the agenda here wants to say something, wants to share something?
Hey, Jan and team, this is Prahlad. A couple of weeks ago, there are 2 reviews and I have responded to all the comments. There are some comments possibly get us back, like, I mean, those discussions are like, I mean, I think they're rotating around the point of whether we need to show system artifacts to the user or not. So Jan, if Wei has already responded, if you could also take that comment from Tianon and respond, it will be great. So that because I have started my implementation and I want to run this like as soon as possible in the next couple of weeks. So just wanted to make sure that we don't get back again on a decision that adds some rework.
Sorry, I can't hear you very clear, but if you are talking about that, your proposals, I think I have already approved that. Regarding to the implementation, yeah, I think you can firstly to create a engineering IPAC in Go Harbor repository and task breakdown. You can just list the detailed task that you will do, and then we can use that issue to track the progress. Is that okay for you?
Hey, Jan, sorry, I am lost in between because of a network glitch. Could you repeat?
I mean, I have already approved your proposal, and regarding to the implementation, I think you can just firstly to create an IPAC in Go Harbor repository, and then do the task breakdown. You can just create some detailed task in the repository, so then we can use that issues to track the implementation progress.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can do that, and I'll sync up with you if I get blocked somewhere creating the issue. I'll sync up with you. So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hey, can you add that thing to the agenda for today so we don't forget about it and next time if needed to discuss again?
Yeah, sure. I'll add it to the agenda today, and I'll just put it. It was just a point that I wanted to mention so that the community knows that I've started dabbling with the code and getting things but I've not done specific tasks. Maybe I'll create those tasks as Jan suggested, and we'll so that the thing can be tracked.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyone else? Anything to share? No? I think then we're done. Thank you, everyone, and hope to see you next week, some of you, on the SIGDocs meetup, or the week after that on our next community meeting. Bye, and have a nice day.